Okay, this video is about equipments and tools, liberty riding, real trust, and these things. Not using tools or not using equipments while doing tricks and good moves or hard moves with horses. I talked about that in a video called Liberty Bullshit or something like that. You can find it in the channel. As I said before, equipments and tools are just tools. It makes no real difference. If you are bad, you are bad in all of them. You get a bad result in all equipments and tools. If you are good in all of them. You get a good result in all of them. That's a fact because you can see it. So it's not the equipment, it's not the horse, it's us. Blame or compliment the rider, not the equipment, not the horse. Fact, not an opinion, because you can see it. 2. Some people say that, okay, we agree with that, but this equipment or this tool hurts more than the other equipment or tool. I also talked about that in so many videos. If you say, for example, the bit hurts more than the halter, that's one thing. But when you say the bit hurts, the halter does not hurt, that's against the fact, against the truth. Both of them hurt. Now, does the bit hurt more? Yes, sometimes. Does the halter hurt more? Yes, sometimes. So it depends on the rider. Now, the same rider using the halter or the bit, which one hurts more? I said before, he could hurt the horse with the halter more because he's using more strength with the head. Then when he rides with the bit, his hands are lighter, so the bit is softer and smoother on the horse's mouth. So it's possible to become more painful when you are riding the horse with the halter. That's possible. Now, what I say is very clear, very simple, fact, not an opinion. Good rider gives you the same result in all these equipments and tools. Bad rider hurts the horse with all these equipments and tools. With the whip, with the spurs, with the saddle, bareback, bit or halter, you see the marks of pain with the bad rider. Now, with the same equipments, with the same horse, different rider, there is no pain, although it's the same equipment. So it's not the equipment, it's not the horse, it's the rider. Blame or compliment the rider. Now, what I want to talk about is what some people call liberty riding or whatever. I'm not against it, actually I'm with it, but get real. Don't lie. Don't change facts. Don't change history. Don't change reality. To me, when you talk to someone who knows what they're doing in horsemanship, if you lie to them, you will not make them change their mind. They will not change their way of riding when you are lying to them. You have to get real. When you bring a horse, ride him with a spurs, martingale, saddle, spurs, whip, and bit, and with time, after 3 or 4 or 6 or 9 months, you take off the equipments with time. You take off the saddle, you take off the spurs, you take off the martingale, and you take off everything, and you make a video with the same horse after training him, and he's giving you the moves you want without the equipments, with a pink rope on his neck and a pink whip or stick. And you call it liberty riding. You are lying to yourself, you are lying to people. Why? Again, it's a fact, not an opinion. No. If you say, I trained the horse, then with time I got rid of the equipments, okay, we agree. So you used equipments in the beginning. You use equipments with the horse, and with time you get rid of them. With that, we're cool, I agree, keep it up. If you say, I never ever use equipments because I am against them, so what you are telling me is that you started the horse or trained the horse from the beginning until the end without ever using the spurs or the saddle or the bit or the halter. Are you saying that? If you are saying that, then okay. The result that you showed me with your own horse, with a whip and a rope on his neck, and he's giving you what you want, I want you to do the exact same thing with a new horse that you know nothing about, or when you start a new horse. I want you to start or break a new horse from the beginning until the end, just with a whip and with a rope on his neck. From the beginning until the end, and give me the same result you showed me with your own horse. Is that possible? If it's possible, show it to me. Until you show it to me, there is nothing to talk about. It's that simple. Now, People say, that's very clear, why are you talking about it? I'm talking about it because they don't admit it. People are fool enough to believe it. When I do a big process and show you only the final result and call it liberty horsemanship, liberty riding, that means I'm fooling you. I'm laughing at you. I'm lying to you, to your face. Show me the whole process. Show me a video in the first day. Show me a video in the first week. Show me a video in the first month. Then show me a video at the end. But you did not show me the process in the beginning or in the middle or in the end, and you showed me the final result, which means if the horse said no, you sell him and buy another horse, an easier horse. What happened with the saddle or the spurs or the whip, you don't show it to me. So it's very simple. If you are totally against the equipments and did not use them from the beginning, that's the best thing you can do. It's impossible. Because all of us at the end use equipment. Now, what I'm saying is completely different. I say the only things I use from the beginning until the end with any horse is just the bridle. I don't train horses for tricks or moves. My goal is not to ride the horse without anything on his head. I ride the horse with lead the horse with a rope, or a normal halter, rope on the nose or rope in the mouth, then ride the horse with a bridle, with a snaffle or a pin. Any horse, anywhere, I start with the halter or the bit, and I end up with the halter or the bit. So everything you see in the video is what I did in the beginning and what I did in the middle, although I also show you what I did in a video in the middle and in the beginning. So you are seeing the whole process, even though at the end the same equipments I'm using are the same equipments I used in the past. For example, I have videos of stallions in the same paddock controlling both of them. I controlled both stallions without a whip, and I'm letting them smell each other. You can't control the stallion by whipping him with a whip and forcing him to move away from you and your stallion, but I did not do that. I gave him a chance to come to my stallion and smell him and controlled both of them without a whip. Now, I showed you a video with both stallions with bridles, with bits. I showed you other videos from the same paddock with the same stallions with a snaffle bit. I did the same thing with a halter only. I did the same thing without anything on their head. So I showed you the whole process. 1, 2, 3, 4, end. When I don't show you anything from the process, except the final result with some horses, and you believe what I said, or do believe what I said, people should not blame me for lying to you. They should blame you for being fool enough, for being stupid enough to believe a liar. So, it's a cool thing to do. It's a good thing to do. Admit it, or at least you don't have to admit it, but don't deny it. You don't have to admit it to everyone, but don't deny that the one who shows you a video with a horse with a whip and a rope on his neck did not do that in the beginning. He used equipments and tools a lot in the beginning. He hurt the horse more than us in the beginning. Then with time, he keeps taking off equipments from the horse, then he shows you the final result. The final thing I want to talk about is, although he did all these things, at the end he still uses the whip. Where is the trust? Where is the love? Where is the control? No matter what they do, at the end they have to use a whip, or they get rid of everything and still use the spurs. Who are you fooling? 80% of your way of riding depends on the leg, and you are using a spurs. So getting rid of everything and still using the spurs is easier than getting rid of the spurs and keeping the saddle and the bridle, because they use the leg a lot. So they get rid of everything but still use the spurs, or they get rid of everything and still use the whip or the stick. So the main thing in their way of riding is still being used by them. Where is trust? Where is love? Where is control? Again, don't blame the liar, blame the idiot. Blame the fool who believed him. So, 1, equipments and tools are not to be blamed. Blame or compliment the rider. 2, all equipments and tools can hurt the horse if you ride him in a wrong way. Some hurt more than other, but all of them, with no exception, hurt the horse in a way or another. 3, if you train the horse with equipments and tools and at the end you remove these equipments and tools, don't tell me that you don't use equipments and tools, because I know you did before showing me that video. At the end, 5 or 4, the last thing I want to talk about, even though you did all these things, at the end you still use the worst equipment in the history of riding horses, in the history of dealing with horses. The worst thing that people created to deal with horses is the whip. They use it for slaves, they use it with other animals, they use it with horses. This is the worst equipment, this is the worst tool for riding horses, for dealing with horses. But still, I see people saying bad things about the bit, about the snaffle, about the pilham, about the halter, about the rope halter, about the spurs, about the saddle, but they never ever talk about the whip. Now, as I said before, I'm not blaming the whip, I'm blaming them. If you use the whip in a good way, it's not that bad. I'm against it, but it's not that bad. But if you use it in a bad way, it's bad. But if you use it in a good way or a bad way, still you don't have the right to talk about other equipments and tools unless we talk about the whip first. So get rid of this, then we will talk about whatever you want. Until you do, there is nothing to talk about. That's my opinion about this issue or matter.